It was a quiet night in the desert. The sky was clear, full of stars. Everything felt calm. Until a strange light flashed in the sky. It wasn't a shooting star. It was fast, too fast. A burning object fell from the sky, cutting through the air like fire, and then boom. A loud crash echoed across the hills. Alex, a young mechanic who lived alone near the desert, looked up from his garage. He dropped his wrench. "What the hell was that?" he whispered. Without thinking, he grabbed his flashlight and got on his bike. His heart was racing. He followed the smoke, riding toward the crash. 10 minutes later he found it, a small crater. In the center was something metallic, glowing slightly blue. Not a plane, not a satellite. It looked like a small spaceship. He had only seen things like this in movies. Suddenly, the hatch opened. Steam hissed out. Alex stepped back. His hand shook. Something was inside. Someone, a girl, slowly climbed out. She looked almost human, but not completely. Her skin had a soft silver shine. Her eyes were bright violet. Her hair floated slightly, like it didn't follow gravity. She was wearing a tight suit full of lights and symbols. She looked weak, confused, scared. She stared at Alex, then said something in a strange language. He didn't understand. She tried again, this time in broken English. "Please." "Not enemy, no hurt." Alex blinked. "What are you?" She put her hand on her chest. "Lyra, from Kepler 9. Alex didn't know what to do. Should he call someone? The police? NASA? But she looked so lost, so tired, and honestly, kind of beautiful. "Okay, Lyra," he said slowly. "Come with me. You can't stay here." He helped her onto his bike, and they rode back. She looked around at everything like it was magic. Lights, cars, even the moon. She kept pointing and whispering, strange, but pretty. At his house, Alex gave her water. She drank it carefully, like it might explode. He gave her a blanket, and she wrapped herself like a burrito. Then he showed her the bathroom. "That's the toilet," he said. "If you need to, go." Lyra looked at the toilet like it was a monster. "What is that?" "It's just a toilet," Alex laughed. "You sit, do your thing, and flush." She walked around it slowly. "It opens. Like mouth?" "Sort of." She pressed the flush handle. The water swirled, then whooshed loudly. Lyra screamed and jumped back. "It eats." Alex laughed harder. "No, it's just water." Lyra didn't believe him. "It makes noise. It spins. It is alive." Alex showed her how to use the sink. She jumped when the water came out. Then she screamed when she saw her reflection in the mirror. "Someone is in there." "That's just you," Alex said. She touched the mirror softly. "No portal?" "Nope, just glass." After calming down, she sat on his sofa, staring at the ceiling fan. "Your world full of scary machines." Alex smiled. "You came from space, and you're scared of a toilet?" Lyra looked serious. "Space is simple. Earth is madness." They sat in silence for a while. Alex was full of questions. But Lyra looked tired. Her body shook a little. He brought her some food, instant noodles. She sniffed it like a wild animal. "What is this?" she asked. "Noodles, just eat." She picked one up with her fingers. "Worms?" "No, just food." She put one in her mouth. Her eyes widened. "It's good." She smiled for the first time. Alex felt a little better. Maybe things wouldn't be so bad. But he had no idea who was looking for her, or why she crashed on Earth. Just as he was about to ask more, Lyra looked out the window. Her face changed, pale, scared. "What is it?" Alex asked. She pointed at the sky. "They will come," she said quietly. "They will not stop." "Who?" She held something up, a glowing cube from her suit. "Because of this, Alex stared. At the cube, it pulsed like a heartbeat. What is that? Lyra shook her head. Danger. Big danger. I ran, but now they know. Suddenly, the toilet in the bathroom flushed by itself. Loud. Out of nowhere. Lyra screamed again and jumped. Behind the couch, Alex stood frozen. It's probably just a broken handle. Lyra whispered, or a signal. Alex didn't laugh this time. Something felt very, very wrong. Asterisk, it was almost midnight. The house was quiet, but Lyra could not sleep. She sat on the edge of the sofa, staring at the bathroom door like it might open by itself. The toilet was inside. The terrifying, spinning, soul-eating toilet dot. She pulled the blanket tighter around her body and whispered to herself in her own language, trying to calm her nerves. On her planet, water was stored carefully. It didn't swirl or spin or make loud monster sounds. Her ship had smooth, silent cleaning pods. But here, everything was loud, aggressive, and wet. She needed to use the bathroom. But fear kept her frozen. Alex had already gone to bed. He trusted her now. Maybe he shouldn't. Lyra still didn't understand Earth rules. She didn't understand Earth feelings either. But she understood one thing clearly. That toilet was watching her. After 20 minutes of pacing and whispering to herself, Lyra finally opened the bathroom door slowly. Darkness. Silence. She stepped in with one foot. Like a soldier entering enemy territory. Click. The light turned on. Lyra jumped back. She took a deep breath. "You can do this," she whispered in broken English. "Toilet is not enemy." She turned toward the toilet. It just sat there, cold, white, mysterious. She crept forward and examined it from every angle. She tried to sit on it and fell in too deep. "Too round, not safe," she shouted. She climbed off quickly. Then she saw the handle, the cursed silver lever. She stared at it like it was a weapon. No touch, no flush, she decided. I leave no sound. She tried to do what she had to do without looking at the bowl. When it was over, she backed away slowly, one step, then two. Then she turned and ran out like a prisoner escaping a haunted cell. But just as she reached the hallway, whoosh! The toilet flushed by itself. Lyra screamed louder than before, crashing into the wall. Alex jumped out of bed and ran in. "What happened? Are we under attack?" Lyra pointed toward the bathroom. It heard me. It is alive." Alex looked. "Inside. It's just a weak flusher. Relax. Some toilets do that. Automatic ones." Lyra looked betrayed. "You never said." "Toilet has brain." Alex rubbed his eyes. "Welcome to Earth, Lyra." In the morning, Alex made breakfast. Toast, eggs, and ketchup. He offered her a plate. Lyra poked the bread. "Why is it brown?" "It's cooked." She tasted it, chewed slowly. "Not bad." Dry, but not bad. Then she dipped a bite in ketchup. Her eyes widened. Her lips trembled. Then, fire, red fire. She screamed. Alex laughed. "It's just ketchup. It's not even spicy." Lyra ran to the sink and poured water into her mouth. She gasped. "Your food tries to kill." After that, she refused the eggs. She thought they were alien eggs. Alex gave her noodles again. This time she ate with a fork. She was slowly learning. Slowly adapting. She sat near the window, watching birds fly outside. "You fly without ships?" "No, those are birds." "Do they speak?" "Not in a way we understand," Lyra nodded. "Still more peaceful than your bathroom." Alex laughed. "I should take you to a public restroom sometime." Lyra's face turned pale. "No, that will be war." Later that day, Alex asked her more questions. "Why did you come here? Why Earth?" Lyra stayed quiet for a moment. Then she pulled something from her suit. "A glowing cube. You asked yesterday," she said. "Now I answer." She placed the cube on the table. It floated a few inches above the surface, spinning slowly. This is a universal key. It opens machines, big ones, dangerous ones. My planet's ruler, he wanted to use it for war. I stole it. Alex stared at it. That's a lot. I thought Earth was simple, safe. I could hide it here. You thought wrong, Alex muttered. Maybe, Lyra said, but your planet, it feels real. Not like home. Just then, something beeped. The cube turned red. Lyra froze. They found it, she whispered. They are tracking me. Alex looked out the window. The sky was clear, but somehow felt heavier. You need to go back, right? Lyra shook her head. If I go back, I die. If I stay, they come here. Alex looked at the cube, then at her. Then we hide it. Together. Lyra looked at him. You would help? Even after toilet? He smiled. Even after ketchup. Suddenly, a sound buzzed in the sky. A strange drone flew past. Their window scanning the area. Lyra ducked. Alex turned off the lights. They're not wasting time, he said. Lyra touched the cube and closed her eyes. I need to learn fast. I need to become human. Alex looked at her, still amazed. Step 1. Don't scream every time something flushes. Lyra rolled her eyes. No promises. The cube pulsed again, this time brighter. Somewhere in the shadows of space, someone was watching. Someone who wanted the key back. And they were getting closer. Rain began to fall the next morning. Soft at first, then harder, turning the desert sand into mud. Lyra stood near the window, watching water hit the glass like a soft drumbeat. She had never seen rain before. On her planet, water came in small. Crystals, sharp, cold, and controlled. Not this wild, dancing kind of water dot. She reached out and pressed her fingers to the window. Your sky. Cries, she whispered. Alex, still half asleep, walked into the living room holding 2 mugs of hot chocolate. It's called rain, he said, handing her a mug. It's peaceful. Lyra sniffed the drink. Smells brown. It's chocolate. You'll like it. She took a sip. Her eyes sparkled. Warm, sweet, magic. Alex smiled. For a second, everything felt normal. Like he was just a guy, and she was just a strange but curious girl. Not an alien, not a fugitive. But that peaceful moment ended quickly. The cube on the table began to glow again, not softly, but in a harsh, red light. It pulsed like a pulse. Warning, Lyra froze. Alex put down his mug. They're getting closer, Lyra said. They can smell the energy. I tried to shut it off, but it's alive. Alex looked at the cube. It hovered in the air, spinning slowly, humming like a paw. Small engine. What exactly is it? He asked. You said it's a key, but what does it open? Lyra looked away. Machines, gates, weapons. It's not just one key, it adapts. Finds the language of any machine and speaks to it. You mean like hacking? Hacking, unlocking, commanding. It listens to machines, and they obey. Alex stepped back. So whoever controls this, controls everything. Lyra nodded slowly. My planet's ruler wanted to use it to control other worlds. Your Earth is full of machines. Too many. This key would make him a god here. Alex swallowed hard. So if he finds you, he won't just take me, she said quietly. He'll take everything. For a moment, Alex thought about calling someone, the military, the government. But deep down, he knew how that would end. They'd take her, lock her away, run tests. Try to use the cube for their own power. Humans weren't ready for something like this. Maybe they'd never be. I won't let that happen, he said. Lyra looked at him, surprised. Why would you help me? I broke your sink last night. I called your fridge a cold coffin. I screamed at your toilet. Alex laughed. You're strange, Lyra, but you're real. You don't want to hurt anyone. That's rare these days. Just then, they heard something. A soft buzzing sound, like electricity in the air. The cube turned blue. A beam of light shot out and created a small 3D hologram above it. A face. A peered dot, it was sharp and metallic. No skin, just armor and eyes like red suns. Lyra of Kepler 9, the voice said. You are holding stolen property. You will surrender the key, or we will take it. After removing your host planet, the message disappeared. The cube stopped glowing. The room fell silent. Lyra sat down slowly. Her hands shook. They never bluff, she whispered. They will burn this planet to ash if they must. Alex stood still, his brain racing. Can we destroy the key? No, Lyra said. It repairs itself. It wants to survive. It's half machine, half something else. Alex looked out the window. The rain had stopped, but the sky still felt heavy. Then we hide it better. Somewhere they can't find. Lyra reached into her suit and took out a small circular object. She placed the cube inside it. It vanished. Pocket space, she said. Very small, very secret, but not forever. Alex sat down beside her. Then we need a plan. What if we make a fake, a decoy? Lyra's eyes lit up. That could work. If it gives off the same energy, they will chase that instead. I've got some tech junk in the garage. We can start now. But before they could move, there was a knock at the door. Lyra's body went stiff. They're here. Alex shook his head. No, they don't knock. He opened the door slightly. It was his neighbor, Mrs. Jenkins, an old lady with a garden obsession. Hey, Alex, your cactus fell over again, she said. And also, why is your satellite dish glowing blue? Alex forced a smile. Weather experiment. Mrs. Jenkins raised an eyebrow. Well, don't let your experiments burn my garden. I'm growing tomatoes. She walked away. Alex closed the door, heart pounding. Lyra looked at him. We can't stay here, he said. Lyra nodded. We run? We run. Alex opened a hidden compartment in his garage and pulled out something wrapped in a sheet. Lyra stepped closer. What is it? He pulled it off too. Reveal an old motorcycle, rusty, loud, but powerful. We're not going far, but we're going fast. As they packed, the cube pulsed one last time, like it knew what was coming. Somewhere above, in the black sky, ships moved silently toward Earth, and the hunt had truly begun. Asterisk. The motorcycle roared to life with a cough of smoke and the sound of metal complaining. It hadn't been used in years, but Alex had a gift for making old machines breathe again. Lyra sat behind him, clutching his waist, eyes wide with nervous excitement. This is safe, she shouted over the engine. No, Alex said with a grin, but it's fast. They tore out of the garage and down the desert road just as a strange dark cloud passed overhead. Not a storm cloud, but something mechanical. High above them, invisible to most humans, alien drones were scanning the land, looking for the signal of the stolen key. Lyra leaned closer. We have maybe 1 hour before they find the exact location. Then we better disappear, Alex replied. They didn't go to the nearest town. That would be expected. Instead, Alex took backroads and side streets, eventually entering the edge of a city. Lights, traffic, people, noise. A place where an alien girl could blend in, for now. The motorcycle stopped behind an old shopping mall. This is hiding? Lyra asked, looking up at the glowing advertisements and loud stores. Alex smiled. It's called camouflage. The best place to hide something strange is somewhere already full of strange things. Lyra looked around. Bright colors. Screaming children. Giant statues of cartoon animals. She was overwhelmed, but curious. I see many creatures, she whispered. Those are mascots, Alex said. They're not real. Just costumes. Suddenly, a guy in a furry dragon suit waved at her. Lyra screamed and hid behind Alex. He laughed. Okay, maybe we start small. They entered the mall. Everything inside was loud, bright, and chaotic. For Lyra, it was like stepping into a dream full of bad design and strange smells. She saw mirrors on the ceiling, food that looked like colored plastic, and machines that gave toys in exchange for coins. "This is your city?" she asked. "Just a small piece," Alex replied. "And it's weird even by our standards." Lyra saw a group of people in cosplay, dressed as aliens, warriors, robots. She stared at them, then looked at herself. She still wore her silver suit. For once, she didn't stand out. "Wait here," Alex said, running into a store. He came back a minute later with a hoodie, sunglasses, and a baseball cap. "Wear these. You'll blend in." She put them on. "I feel like human." "You look like one too." As they walked deeper into the mall, Lyra tried to act normal. She waved at the automatic doors like they were royal guards. She talked to an escalator before stepping on it. When she saw the elevator, she whispered, "Box of rising," before entering. Alex couldn't stop smiling. Even in danger, she made the world feel new. But the moment didn't last. The cube in her pocket glowed faintly. She pulled it out. It pulsed blue, then red. The signal was being tracked. "They're here," she said. Alex looked around. From the upper floor, a man in a black coat walked slowly toward them. His skin was pale, too smooth. His eyes completely black. "Not human. Run," Lyra said. They ran through the mall, dodging food stands, jumping over displays. The man followed. Fast, silent, unblinking. Lyra stopped near a toy store. "Give me the key," Alex said. She hesitated, then handed it to him. "What will you do?" "Buy us time." Alex ran into the store and placed the cube inside a talking teddy bear. The bear lit up and began singing loudly, attracting attention. Then he placed it on a conveyor belt headed toward a prize wall. The alien agent entered the store. His eyes scanned the area. The cube's energy signature was now hidden among hundreds of noisy toys. Confused, the agent paused. Meanwhile, Lyra and Alex ran into the arcade. It was dark, loud, and full of blinking machines. Lyra stared in wonder. "Are these battle pods?" "No," Alex said. "Just games." But suddenly, Lyra stopped. On one screen, she saw her own planet, a digital background used in a sci-fi shooter game. "It's home," she whispered. "It's just a game," Alex said. "Coincidence." She sat in the seat, touching the buttons as memories flooded her mind. Home wasn't perfect, but it was hers, and she'd never see it again. The moment broke when alarms blared. Security guards were chasing someone. Not the alien, Alex realized, but him. He had been caught on camera dropping the cube. They ran again, exiting through the back of the mall. The motorcycle was still there, but now it was surrounded by 3 tall men in black armor. Drones hovered above them. They had found it, and then Lyra grabbed Alex's hand. "We go now." Alex looked at the crowd behind them, the drones in front, and the city stretching beyond. "There's only one way out," he said. "We head underground." He pulled her toward a stairway leading into the subway tunnels. As they disappeared into the shadows, one of the drones scanned the area, confused by the cube's mixed signal. Below, in the dark tunnels, Lyra finally spoke. "They're faster now, stronger. They won't stop." Alex, breathing hard, looked back and said, "Then we won't stop either." And deep in her pocket, the cube glowed again, but this time with something new. A flicker of green. Hope. The tunnels were cold and quiet, filled with the soft hum of electricity and the distant rumble of subway trains. Alex led the way with a flashlight, while Lyra walked behind, gripping her jacket tightly, eyes scanning the shadows. They had escaped the mall, but not the hunt. Drones had scanned the area above. Alien agents were now using cloaking suits to walk among humans. The cube was still hidden for now, but Lyra knew they were running out of time. Soon, the fake signal would fail. The real one would shine again like a beacon. And when it did, Earth would no longer be safe. Alex turned left into a dark maintenance tunnel and finally stopped. I used to come here as a kid, he said. My friends and I made a hideout. No one ever came down this far. Lyra looked around. Wires, rusted pipes, leaking steam. This place looks sick, she said. Not sick, just old, like wise. She squinted. Old means wise? Sometimes. Alex shrugged. The hideout was small, but enough. An abandoned utility room with dusty tools, a broken vending machine, and most importantly, no cameras. They set up camp. Alex used an old battery to power the lights. Lyra took out the cube and placed it on a steel drum. It glowed green for a moment, then dimmed. It's sleeping, she said. But not dead. Never dead. Alex sat on a crate, looking at her. We need to stop running. She turned. We fight now? He nodded. We fight, on our terms. Lyra blinked. But I have no weapons, no tech. I am not a soldier. Alex stood and looked around the room. Then he opened an old metal cabinet. Inside were broken electronics, wires, and a small portable toilet used by subway workers. He picked it up and placed it in front of her. She jumped back. No, not again. I said no more toilet. He held up a hand. Just listen. Lyra backed into the corner. It spins, it screams, it watches. Alex grinned. Yes, but it also flushes, and that means suction. That means pressure. That means we can turn it into a trap. She tilted her head. You want to weaponize the toilet? He leaned in, eyes full of excitement. Exactly. What followed next was something neither of them expected. For the next 3 hours they worked together. Lyra rewired power cells from drones they had scavenged. Alex modified the water tank and added magnetic coils. It was slow, strange, and often frustrating. Lyra screamed when a pipe hissed steam in her face. She kicked the toilet twice. Alex laughed when she gave it a name, White Demon. But as the device came together, so did they. At one point, Lyra sat beside the toilet, covered in wires and sweat. Your technology, it is wild, loud, unpredictable. But it's clever, Alex said. Like humans. She looked at him. On my world, everything is clean, controlled, safe, but no one laughs. No one jokes. Here, you smile in danger. Maybe that's how we survive. She touched the toilet and whispered, then maybe this monster will help us survive. 2. They created 3 traps, one using the toilet suction system, now strong enough to pull in a small drone. One using hairdryers and motion sensors to confuse heat-scanning bots, and one more, involving ketchup packets and a blender. Lyra didn't ask, and Alex didn't explain. Finally, they rested. Lyra sat on the floor, drinking water from a bottle. Alex, if we fail, what happens to your people? Alex looked at the dusty ceiling. We'll fight, we always do. But without help, without warning, we'd lose. She nodded. Then I will not run again. Suddenly, the cube flashed red. Alex stood. They're here. The room began to vibrate. Dust fell from the pipes. Lyra grabbed the cube and held it close. We stay together, she said. Alex nodded. And we flush back. A moment later, the door blasted open. Smoke filled the air. A tall figure stepped in, cloaked, armored, glowing with red energy. The alien agent raised its weapon, scanning the room. Alex ducked behind a barrel and whispered, now. Lyra hit the switch. Toilet trap activated. Water pressure surged through the coils. The moment the agent stepped forward, the modified toilet screamed and released a suction force that pulled the alien's blaster right out of its hand. The blaster flew into the bowl. and flushed. Gone. The agent roared in confusion. It stepped toward Lyra, but she raised a second device, an old hairdryer. It blasted heat at full power, tricking the drone that hovered behind the agent. It locked onto the heat signature and fired. Boom. The blast knocked the agent into the wall. Lyra looked stunned. It worked. Alex grinned. Toilet wins. Another drone entered. The blender trap exploded. Ketchup everywhere. Red goo splashed onto the lens, blinding the drone. The entire room became chaos. Water, heat, red sauce, and wires. But the attackers were confused. Out of place. Out of control. Just like Lyra had once been. In the chaos, Alex and Lyra escaped through the back pipe, carrying the cube. As they ran through the tunnels, Lyra laughed, actually laughed. That was madness, she said. Beautiful madness, Alex smiled back. You're becoming human. She touched her chest. Maybe, but still scared of toilets. They climbed out of the tunnel and into the city night. The stars above looked closer. Now. But the war wasn't over. It had just begun. Asterisk. The city lights stretched like a river of stars beneath them, as Alex and Lyra stood atop an old rooftop, wind brushing their faces. Below, life continued. Cars moved like insects, neon signs flickered, people laughed, shouted, and hurried through the night like nothing had changed. But for Lyra, everything had changed. She had flushed a weapon, used a hairdryer in battle, escaped alien assassins with ketchup, and now, she didn't feel like the same person who crashed on Earth. She stood at the edge of the building, staring at the full moon. What are you thinking? Alex asked as he handed her a bottle of soda. She opened it with a hiss and sipped carefully. Her face twisted from the bubbles. It's sharp, she muttered. Like drinking lightning. He laughed. That's soda for you. She took another sip. I think I'm broken. Alex raised an eyebrow. Why do you say that? I feel strange, all the time, in my chest. It's tight. My stomach moves, my hands. They want to do things without asking me. She looked at her fingers. Back home, feelings are controlled. We are trained to hide them. Here, I feel everything. All at once. Alex sat beside her. Welcome to being human. She looked at him, confused. How do you survive like this? We don't always, he said. Sometimes we cry. Sometimes we break, but we keep going. She watched a couple below holding hands, laughing. I don't understand it. One moment I'm terrified, then I'm laughing. 1 second I want to run. Then I look at you and want to stay. Alex stayed quiet. I saw you today, Lyra continued, her voice softer. You didn't run. You built traps. You stood beside me. Even when I kicked the toilet and screamed like a fool. He chuckled. You were very brave. She smiled. I wasn't, but you made me feel like I could be. The cube pulsed gently in her jacket. Its glow was no longer angry red or fearful blue. It was something else now. A soft, unsure green, like it too, was learning something new. They spent the night in a closed-down science lab at a local high school. Alex had picked the lock-old skills from a misspent youth. Inside, the lights flickered, but the computers still worked. Beakers and gadgets covered the tables. Lyra sat at a desk and stared at an Earth globe. So small, she whispered. So full of noise. Alex booted up the computer. We're going to need a way to block the signal from the cube. If we mask its frequency. Lyra wasn't listening. She was watching the screensaver, bouncing lights that changed color. Why does this make me calm? She asked. It's just pixels, he said. But maybe that's all we are too. Lights bouncing around. She turned to him. Is that how you see yourself? Just lights? No, he replied. I see myself as someone who found something weird and beautiful and completely unpredictable and wants to protect it. Lyra lowered her gaze. You're talking about me? Alex nodded. Her breath caught in her throat. This feeling, is it fear? No, he said. It's something better. Or worse, depending on how it ends. They sat in silence, only the sound of the humming cube between them. Later that night, Lyra woke from a strange dream, a memory of her home planet. She was standing in front of the great hall, holding the key in her hand, and a crowd of her own people stared at her. But instead of anger, they smiled, cheered, reached for her. Then the dream twisted. The great hall collapsed. The sky turned dark. And Earth was burning. She gasped and sat up. Alex stirred. Another nightmare? She nodded. They're coming faster. I feel it. He rubbed his face. Then we stop hiding. We end this. She looked at the cube, which now pulsed steadily. I know what they want, but I also know what I want. And what's that? She stood, stronger than before. Choice, freedom, a chance to feel these things, even if they hurt. He smiled. You're more human than most people I know. Suddenly, the lab lights flickered. A low vibration spread across the walls. They've locked onto us, Lyra said. They know I'm here. Alex grabbed his bag. Then we lead them away. Not just run, but give them something they want. She raised an eyebrow. The key. No, a message. He opened the laptop and began typing. Lyra watched, confused. What are you doing? Sending a signal, he said. To the news, to the internet, to anyone listening. They want to come to Earth quiet. Secret. But if the world sees them, if people know, you think they'll risk it? Lyra's eyes widened. You would reveal me? No, he said. I'll reveal the danger. The truth. You? You're the proof that not all aliens come to conquer. Smile tugged at the corner of her lips. You're crazy. You're not the first to say that. She touched his hand. But maybe you're right. Outside, the sky changed. A ripple of light shimmered between the stars. A portal. Lyra looked up. That's not a ship, that's him. Alex didn't ask who. He just packed the cube. Lyra looked at the toilet trap still inside her bag and laughed. Let's flush a god. And with that, they disappeared into the night. Hearts pounding, minds racing, and for the first time, side by side, the sky was broken. Not in the way humans feared, not with fire or falling meteors, but in silence. A perfect slice of blackness opened above Earth, like a wound in space, leaking golden light and cold shadows. Alex and Lyra stood on the rooftop of an abandoned hospital, staring upward. The portal hovered miles above, humming softly, yet the sound pierced their bones. He's here, Lyra whispered. The ruler? Alex asked, tightening the straps on his backpack. She nodded slowly. His real name is unpronounceable in your language, but on Kepler 9 we called him the Silence Maker. He controls with fear. With stillness, when he speaks, whole cities stop breathing. So how do we stop something like that? Lyra pulled out the cube. It didn't glow anymore. It shivered. It didn't want to be near its creator. It feared him. Alex gently placed his hand over Lyra's. We stop him by being what he hates most. What's that? She asked. Loud, messy, human. A flash of lightning split the sky. Not natural lightning, but energy from the ruler's ship. It cracked, opened the clouds like glass. And then it descended, not a ship in the traditional sense, more like a temple made of black stone and light. Silent, heavy, ancient. All power in the city flickered and died. The people looked up, confused. Phones stopped working. Screens turned black. Only one message flashed across every device in dozens of languages. Return the key. This is your only warning. Lyra looked at the streets below. Crowds were forming. People were watching. The world was waking up to a war they hadn't seen coming. She took a deep breath. If I give him the key, he leaves. Alex looked at her sharply. And if you don't, he takes it and kills me. There was a long pause. Then Alex. Sighed, we make a third option. They headed down into the building, where they'd prepared a final trap, a mix of Earth tech, alien energy, and reckless hope. At the center of it all, surrounded by wires and pressure tubes, was the original modified toilet, the same one Lyra had once feared like death. Now, it was her weapon. Lyra looked at it, then at Alex. You sure this will work? No, he said. But I believe in it. And you believe in me? I'd follow you through a sewer, he said, literally. Outside, a soft tone echoed. A figure appeared in the air, slowly descending, tall, regal, draped in robes that shimmered like oil. His face was unreadable, his eyes made of swirling galaxies. He spoke without moving his lips. You disappoint me, Lyra. Her knees weakened. Her body remembered the weight of fear. The voice pushed her mind. You ran from purpose, he said. From order, from truth. Alex stepped forward. She ran from you. The ruler's eyes narrowed. You are the human. Yes, Alex said. The one who taught her to scream at toilets, laugh at soda, and run headfirst into chaos. Unfortunate, the ruler said. You will be erased. He raised a hand, power shimmered like liquid fire. But just as the blast launched forward, Lyra shouted, Now! Alex hit the trigger. The modified toilet, now connected to a vortex generator stolen from the alien drones, surged to life. The cube, placed inside the bowl, activated with a sound like thunder. The blast hit and vanished. The toilet absorbed the energy dot and then flushed. A massive wave of suction burst upward, spinning the power into a gravitational tunnel. The toilet wasn't just a trap. It had become a black hole in a bucket. The ruler's form twisted. He screamed, not in sound, but in space. No, I built you. The cube glowed with green and white light. For the first time it chose. And it chose her. Lyra stepped forward, face hard. I may be born from silence, but I found my voice. And then she pulled the emergency lever. The toilet exploded upward in a burst of white light, pulling the ruler back into the rift he came from. His screams echoed across the sky as the portal above began to collapse. The ship shook. The clouds split. The cube pulsed, then shattered, and everything stopped. Silence. Then the lights came back on. Phones buzzed. Screens lit up again. People of Earth stood stunned, unsure of what they had just witnessed. On the rooftop, Lyra fell to her knees. Alex caught her. You did it, he whispered. No, she said, smiling weakly. We did it. The next day, news broke across the world. Mysterious sky event, they called it. Some believed it was aliens. Others thought it was a weapon test. No one had a clear answer, but somewhere in the desert, in a small home with a broken sink and ketchup-stained walls, two people knew the truth. Alex brought her a hot chocolate. Lyra was wearing pajamas now, Earth clothes, and flipping through a comic book. Do you still think Earth is loud and scary? He asked. She smiled. Yes, but it's also mine now. He sat beside her. You're not going back, are? She looked at him, then at the toilet in the bathroom. Your machines still terrify me. Your food tries to kill me. And your mirrors keep tricking me. He waited for her answer. She closed the comic, leaned back and said, But your heart doesn't.